But on the streets of Boston, it is called getting posted. So, where actually do we go from here? What's next? What's really and truly next? You see Ferguson. You see what happened in Staten Island. What's next? Now, the New York Times, and I'm going to digress here somewhat and get back to the Nicole Default sexual offenses that happened at Columbia High School. I have said in the past that for a fact that something had to be known by some people. Something had to be known by some people. And there was an article in the New York Times. And the article basically states, in Maplewood, parents have long complained about Miss Default, 35, who taught mostly lower-level English courses. Last year, several parents said they told administrators that she made inappropriate comments in class about a miscarriage, about her sex life, about her divorce. Administrators spoke to her about it, parents said, but she went back into the classroom and complained that someone had told on her. So, the big, and this spells lawsuit, ladies and gentlemen. So it appears that some administrators, according to the article, were told about Ms. Default. I guess they spoke to her and didn't find anything wrong and put her right back into her class. The article goes on to say, in June, Mrs. McCaffrey's daughter told her there was a video of a boy opening a snapshot picture from a teacher in which she appeared to be masturbating. Her daughter clammed up when asked who the teacher or the student was, but a friend of Miss Caffrey asked her son, who asked friend. They all knew. Oh yeah, that's Miss Default. Miss Caffrey said several had seen the video. This was just another day at school. Miss McCaffrey told school administrators, who apparently called students in to ask about the video. It was unclear what they learned. School officials had declined to comment since the arrest. The police asked Miss McCaffrey whether her daughter will give a sworn statement. I said no. Then I'll never hear anything from her again. Other parents said the police went to the boy, who denied having the video. Ms. Default taught in the school summer program for at-risk students in July, but then court papers said she already had sex with 4 of the 5 boys. 4 are 15, 1 is 17, in her car and on high school property. Those assaults, as they are considered under New Jersey law, continued as she taught summer school, court papers said. This fall, parents said students began sending around a video showing Ms. Default performing oral sex on one of the boys. On September the 18th, students learned an announcement from the principal that a teacher had been arrested. Ms. Default's classroom was roped off with a sign calling it unusable. The principal asked students and teachers not to speak to the news media. Ms. Default's lawyer, Timothy Smith, said she had a shunt put in her brain during surgery to correct a problem that surfaced during pregnancy. Daddy said may have made her vulnerable to being a victim. Well, oh, that's the first time I'm hearing that one. Let me repeat that one. Ms. Default lawyer Timothy Smith said she had a shunt put in her brain during surgery to correct a problem that surfaced during pregnancy. Daddy said may have made her vulnerable to being a victim. Parents wondered why it took so long to recognize the problem when there had been complaints about Ms. Dufault. In an interview, one parent recalled a French teacher who talked to students about his sex life. The school let him go after his first year of teaching there. But only one student complained. Other students were reluctant to come forward. The mentality of the kids is bizarre, said the parent, who didn't want to identify because of the sensitivity of the situation. They didn't want to get this guy in trouble. Students and parents said the same was true of Ms. Dufault and Sean M. Shainak, the 44-year-old Brooklyn Technical High School teacher, accused of pursuing 7 girls, giving some of them alcohol and cigarette, taking one to a nude beach and another to a sex club, sending them suggestive text messages and photos, and having sex with 2 of them after they reached the legal age of consent. Both teachers were liked by students because their classes were easy and they acted more like friends than teachers. Social media has blurred that boundary, particularly for younger teachers and high school children. So, there was always questions if the school board really know anything about Michelle Dufault. And it appears that the school did have some information about this teacher. And they may have looked the other way. And as they say, ladies and gentlemen, somebody has to pay. So it appears that these parents are definitely going to file a lawsuit against the school system. Let's go over see what's happening in sports. Columbia girls soccer team defeats West Orange. Dana Ladd's hat-trick propelled the Columbia High School girls varsity soccer team to a 3-0 home win over West Orange. Leanna Runcie made 7 saves for the shutout as the Cougar won their 4th straight game to improve to an 8-2 record. I wanted to go back to the boys football team at Columbia High School. And I think that there are many times where some parents, especially in sports, seem to be very unreasonable as far as a coach is concerned. I know the team is 0-4. I know that's not good. I know that the parents would like to win games. I know that there are some kids who are sitting on the bench, believe that they are better than some of the kids out in the field. But if you're truly honest with yourself and you go see the Columbia Cougar football team play, you will definitely come to the conclusion that they look like a much better football team than last year. Yes, they have lost 46-21, 49-21. But the thing you take away from this is that Columbia actually led West Orange 14-7. And West Orange is a good team. But I think some of the parents are unhappy because of all the losing. And they're unhappy because there are some seniors on the team who are actually sitting on the bench. And there is a reason why the players are sitting on the bench. Because I know if I'm a coach and I'm 0-2 or 0-3, I want my best players in the game. I don't care if that player is a freshman, a sophomore, a senior, a junior, even a super senior. I want my best players in the game so I can win the game. So some people believe that somehow the coach is biased against players and should be playing the seniors who basically are sitting on the bench. And the reason why they're sitting on the bench is because there are better players out on the field. So that's it for sports. And let me quickly go over this last article here from that. Once again, New York police officers caught in video abusing a black person. Once again, surveillance video has captured footage of New York police officer abusing a young black male with very little provocation. 2 officers from the 79 precinct in Brooklyn are now under criminal investigation by the NYPD Internal Affairs Bureau and the Brooklyn District Attorney Kenneth Thompson after surveillance footage showed them punching and bashing a 16-year-old suspect in the face with a gun despite the team raising his hands to surrender. The video reveals 2 officers catching up to Kareem Tribble after a brief chase in Bedford-Stuyvesant. And as Tribble stopped running, one officer throws a punch at his face. As Tribble raised his hands, the other officer smashes him in the face with his gun, cracking his teeth. What's depicted on this video is troubling and warrants a thorough investigation, Thompson said. It all started when 3 officers spotted Tribble at 2:20 a.m. August 29, looking through the window of a minivan parked on St. John's Place in Bedford-Stuyvesant, according to court records. Law enforcement sources and the video. As they got out of their car to approach the 6'2" teen, he allegedly tossed away a small black canvas bag and began running. As the officers ran after him, one with his gun drawn, sources told they were concerned the teen had a weapon. When Tribble slows down, apparently ready to surrender, Officer Tyrion Isaac rushed up and swung at Tribble's head. Tribble's duck, and the punch can be seen on the video, retreating with his hands up to a storefront gate. Officer David Affinado catches up, rushes straight to Tribble and hits him in the face with his gun, breaking a front tooth and chipping another. Affinado can be seen holstering his weapon and going back to get the canvas bag while Isaac put cuff on Tribble. But before he puts on the cuff, Isaac punches Tribble again and pushes him onto his stomach. Affinado then waves the bag in front of Tribble's face before smacking him with it. Police Commissioner William Bratton is angered and embarrassed by the video his source told him. Affinado has been suspended without pay, while Isaac was placed on modified duty and stripped of his badge and gun. Both officers are 9-year veterans. Tribble was arrested for possessing 17 small bags of marijuana and disorderly conduct. He pleaded guilty to a violation at his arraignment and was released with cracked teeth and bruises. The officers both have 2 other cases lodged against them by defendant alleging false arrest or being victim of excessive force, according to court records. Patrick Lynch, the police union resident, said the tape does not tell the entire tale, a claim he has made in other instances when video shows officers abusing civilians. As usual, the video fails to capture the offense that resulted in the police action or the lengthy foot pursuit that culminated in the arrest, he said. Situation like this one happens in real time and under great stress. It's very easy to be judgmental in the comfort of an office while sitting in the front of video screens. Tribble lawyer Amy Rumor told that her client was headed home from a friend's apartment when the officers chased him. My client was minding his own business and they decided to chase him for no reason, she said. Their account is concocted to justify what they did, to cover their asses, to legitimize their criminal conduct. She said she will file a federal civil rights lawsuit against the NYPD and the police officers. And the beat continues on and on and on. And where it stopped, nobody knows, ladies and gentlemen. We hope that